in the courtroom, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone be seated. Madam Foreperson, if you pass the Jackie Smith again, please, ma'am. Thank you, Jackie Smith.
Welcome, Judge Fowler.
And for the record, this verdict reads as follows. We, the jury, unanimously find that the state has proven that following enlisted statutory aggravated circumstances or circumstances beyond a reasonable doubt. One, the defendant was previously convicted of one or more felonies other than the present charge, the statutory elements of which involved the use of violence to the person. Two, the murder was committed for purpose of avoiding, interfering with, or preventing a lawful arrest or prosecution of the defendant or another. Three, the murder was committed against any law enforcement officer, corrections official, corrections employee, probation and parole officer, emergency medical or reserve rescue worker, emergency medical technician, paramedic or firefighter who was engaged in performance of official duties, and the defendant knew or knowingly should have known that such action was a law enforcement officer, such victim rather, was a law enforcement officer, corrections official, corrections employee, probation and parole officer, emergency medical or rescue worker, emergency medical technician, paramedic, or firefighter engaged in the performance of official duties. We, the jury, unanimously find that such statutory aggravating circumstance or circumstances do not outweigh any mitigating circumstances beyond a reasonable doubt. Therefore, we, the jury, unanimously agree that the defendant shall be sentenced to imprisonment for life without possibility of parole, and this verdict is signed by all 12 members of the jury. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is that in fact your unanimous verdict?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this will conclude your jury service on this case. On behalf of the great state of Tennessee, and when I mean the state, I mean the 6.5 million people of the state, I do want to thank you for your jury service. Now, first met you all on October 11, 2018, and told you that you'd be called for jury duty, that it would be a sequester case, and told you the case would take somewhere between 7 and 10 days to try. It took 9 days to try the case. When we saw you back in court on Monday of last week, you could have given me a lot of excuses, a lot of reasons why Judge Coffey, this is still not a good idea. You made a sacrifice that had taken you away from your homes, your job, your significant others, your children for the last 9 days. And on behalf of the great state of Tennessee, I want to thank you for the selfless sacrifice that you made. You saw a bunch of folks, even after they told me they could serve on the sequestered jury, apparently developed amnesia 18 days later and could not remember that they said they could serve on the sequestered jury. And you heard a lot of really bad excuses to why Judge Coffey, I kind of changed my mind. This is the best system in the world. Trial by jury in the United States is absolutely the best system in the world. It is not a perfect system, but it's absolutely the best system. Without folks like you making the sacrifice that you made for the last 9 days, this imperfect system would not work. There are some other legal issues I need to handle on this case. We'll bring you some jury certificates in a few minutes. These certificates would indicate that you were impaneled, you were sworn, that you did serve on a jury. In the state of Tennessee, we could actually have you back in court every 2 years. But because of the population of Shelby County, we're not going to require you to serve on a jury in state court for at least the next 10 years. If you're summoned in error, you may forth for 10 years. If you want to talk to the lawyers, I would make you available to talk to the attorneys. You do not have to talk to the attorneys. As I told you, for 7 days, 9 days, you would never be required to explain your verdict to anyone. If you decide to talk to the lawyers and make it available for you to talk to them, if you tell them just coffee, we don't want to talk to anyone, you will never be required to talk to anyone. If someone tries to talk to you, please contact me and let me know, and I will take care of it. In your jury notebooks, feel free to keep anything in the notebooks that you want to keep. The outside of the notebook has a cover on it with my email address and phone number. If you have any questions about anything at any point, do not hesitate to call me. I try to respond to those calls or emails on the same day. If I do not, it simply means that I've been in trial all day. On behalf of all the parties involved in this case, Mr. Henderson, Ms. Dwyer, Ms. Bird, Mr. Ganduli, Ms. Hall, Ms. Pasley, I'm going to be here any longer, and all his family, I want to thank you for the services that you've given to the state of Tennessee. We'll come talk in a few minutes, give you these juror certificates. We will get you out of this building. We'll take you anywhere that you need to go. And if you tell them just call for one to have an escort out of this building, let me know. We'll get you escorted out of this building. We'll take you back to the hotel or take you to anywhere in Shelby County that you want to go. And indicated earlier, cannot take you outside of the county. Cannot take you to Tunica, cannot take you to South Memphis. I'm sorry, cannot take you to direction of West Memphis because the sheriff's office liability will not allow them to take you out of Shelby County. I want to thank you for your jury service. You can follow Deputy Smith. I'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you all. DRT still here. Mr. Wilbourn still here. Check with the court next time before we take him away. Go get Mr. Wilbourn. Tell DRT to leave Mr. Wilbourn back in court. Jury sentences Mr. Wilbourn to life in prison without the possibility of parole. We'll bring Mr. Wilbourn back to court. We'll announce that sentence. We'll need a judgment on the first-degree murder conviction, showing a sentence of life without the possibility of parole. And we'll give a sentencing date for the residual counts of this indictment, the carjacking, employment, use of possession of a firearm in commission of carjacking, and convicted felon possession of the Tennessee law has to be 745 days of this jury's verdict. And we'll get Mr. Wilbourn back in the courtroom. We'll announce those sentences. We'll give him another date for a sentencing hearing on the residual counts. This court will stand at recess for a few minutes. Everyone can remain seated.
This court stands in recess.